So when we get new employees come in, because we're a sizable company, we get kind of a tranche of new employees and we do kind of a breakfast meet and greet with me where I sit down and it's really a lovely experience, probably between 30 minutes and 2 hours, depending on how talkative the group is. Give them a chance to ask me questions. We exchange some fun info. I talk to them about not really my expectations for them in their roles, but my expectations for them as like representatives of the company and why it's important to me and why we do what we do. And usually people leave laughing, excited, right?
Awesome.
Well, ish, because every once in a while, I then am copied on an email like 2 days later that one of those people has been let go. And the problem is there's a delay, right? So these people
Mm,
come in, they're onboarded, this meet and greet gets set up, but they want to get a few people at once, so it's not like some weird, it's not a
right.
date essentially. And then those people get there, and who knows, maybe then I end up having something, so they bump it another week. And so
Hmm.
sometimes by the time I come in to meet these new employees, it's been a couple of months. And by then, there might be people who
Uh-huh.
are nearing the end of their period, and it's just drastically different work styles. There's personality conflicts, whatever it is.
Yep.
And my complaint this morning was very specific, and I think it goes to your point. I said the amount of betrayal that these folks will feel,
Hmm.
not just the folks that leave, but the folks that stay, even, that
Hmm.
we had this intimate experience where we
Hmm.
all got to know each other and we're laughing and having fun, and this was something that was meaningful, is untold. Definitely for the person that then is told 2 days later, hey, they'll wonder what I was holding back when I met
Right.
with them, right?
Hmm.
Was I actually judging them silently, because they'll
Hmm.
assume it came from me. Or B, they won't believe it. They'll believe they must have been fired for some alternative reason because they just had this lovely
Hmm.
conversation with me. And even the person that wasn't terminated, that sat in that room and saw us all communicating as equals and peers and enjoying the experience, will wonder how honest I am about
Right.
anything I say when I talk about how committed, because I mean
Hmm.
it when I say it, that I'm committed to those folks. So we actually had a whole discussion about this. I said, number one, we need to do these faster before people are
Yes.
out of their probationary period. Number two, if there is something going on, I need to know about it before I go into that
Hmm.
room. It is not,
Right.
even though it's not relevant per se for the social aspect of what we're doing, it is absolutely relevant from an
Hmm.
authenticity standpoint. And um, so it's just interesting you brought that up. However, before we kind of get close to wrapping up, because we are almost out of time, I want to talk about one more kind of central thesis that I think I know I have it, and I think you'll probably agree with it. So again, in a world, AI, technology, blah, 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 blah. I think that the future, as far as leadership is concerned, will belong to deeper thinkers because I think it'll give us an advantage. So if you agree, could you explain? And if not, tell me why I'm wrong.
No, that is the thesis of my life right there. I mean, I think that if we want people to be successful in the future, we have to encourage creative and critical thinking. We've got and the courage it takes to be that kind of thinker, because that's where AI is not going to be able to succeed, right? But if we continue in the path that we are doing now, which and I always talk about that there's a thinking crisis right now, that if we continue, like I'm going to ask ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, what do you think I should do? And then you do what they think instead of you coming up with your own solutions. Look, I'm all for I use it all the time. AI, give me options for a kind of brainstorming or doing some research for me, or give me a synopsis of this. But if all of a sudden I'm not thinking for myself and I'm just letting something else think for me, we're not going to have innovation. We're not going to be creative. I mean, all of the job, market research says the skills needed for the future are creativity, critical thinking, and the ability to connect with people. And we've got to have that, because if we don't, our whole world, I mean, here's what I would say. So many of us are afraid that if we think for ourselves, people are going to judge us. And the thing is that if we think for ourselves and we meet someone who thinks differently than we do, we're just going to learn from them. Right? We're going to get better. We're going to grow. We don't, doesn't mean they're going to convince us to think in a different way, but maybe we'll have a better understanding. And then we can use that even more so in the future. So I absolutely am 100% on board with, if we don't start thinking deeper. And that's where I help leaders and I help teachers. And how do we do that? Because it's easy to say and not as easy to do. especially when you can have someone. I talk about this all the time. We are really outsourcing our thinking is what we're really doing now. We can't do it any longer.